From Washington, this is VOA News. U.S. and Russian officials will meet a third day to discuss Syria's chemical weapons. And the Japanese government reassures its people about the Fukushima nuclear power plant. I'm Vincent Bruce reporting from Washington. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, will meet for a third day Saturday in Switzerland after constructive talks on ending Syria's chemical weapons program. The two diplomats and the UN envoy for Syria, Lakhdar Brahimi, are meeting in Geneva to discuss a Russian plan on how to put Syria's chemical weapons under international control. President Barack Obama has repeated that any diplomatic solution to the Syrian chemical weapons issue must be verifiable and enforceable. He spoke after talks on Friday with the emir of Kuwait, Sheik al Ahmad Jaber al-Sabah, which also covered Egypt's political and economic crisis and other issues. VOA senior White House correspondent Dan Robinson has a report.
Kuwait is an important non-NATO regional ally of the United States and a key member of the Gulf Cooperation Council, which works closely with Washington on regional political and security issues. President Obama said Syria was at the top of the list of items during the talks with the Kuwaiti leader. Sheik al-Sabah spoke through a translator.
We will also discuss the harsh humanitarian suffering of the Syrian people.
Other issues included Kuwait's relations with Iraq, security in the Gulf, and another issue of particular importance to Kuwait.
The continued detention of the two Kuwaiti detainees in Guantanamo, and asked President Obama to speed up the process of releasing them.
It was the second White House meeting between the president and the Kuwaiti emir. Dan Robinson, VOA News, the White House.
The UN Secretary General said Friday that he believes the findings of his team of chemical weapons experts will present in the coming days will be an overwhelming report on last month's attack on Syrian civilians near Damascus. From the United Nations, VOA's Margaret Bashir reports Mr. Ban Ki-moon also expressed his continued concern over the crisis in Syria, which has killed more than 100,000 people and displaced at least 6 million.
Speaking about calls for President Bashar al-Assad to leave power, UN Chief Ban Ki-moon said it is for the people of Syria to decide.
I think that is their choice. What happened is that he has committed many crimes against humanity. And therefore, I'm sure that there will be surely the process of accountability when everything is over.
Mr. Bond said the international community must press for a political solution and that it is time for the parties to stop fighting and start talking. Margaret Bashir, VOA News, the United Nations.
More details at voanews.com. The Japanese government is trying to reassure people it is on top of the contaminated water leaks at the Fukushima nuclear power plant, after an official at the Tokyo Electric Power Company said the situation is not under control. The government said Friday the TEPCO official was referring to individual incidents, but not to the situation as a whole. Central Africa Republic President Michel Ajojoja says he is disbanding the Seleka rebel group, which helped to bring him to power earlier this year. In the capital, Bangui, Friday, President Jotoja said the rebel coalition no longer exists. He did not offer further details about what steps he would take to dissolve the group. Insurgents in the western Afghan town of Herat launched an attack on the U.S. consulate before dawn Friday, killing at least 2 Afghan guards and wounding nearly 20 people. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack. A new report says the number of global deaths among children under age 5 is almost half what it was 22 years ago. Lisa Schlein has more for VOA from Geneva.
A joint report by the United Nations Children's Fund, the World Health Organization, and World Bank calls the progress being made in cutting child deaths remarkable. However, it says most child deaths are preventable and that by applying a number of simple, affordable measures, more children's lives can be saved. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
United Airlines in the U.S. mistakenly offered tickets for free this week, and now the air carrier says it will honor the cheap deals. For a couple of hours on Thursday, an unknown number of travelers looking to book flights on United's internet website were able to obtain tickets where the fares were listed as $0, with the airline only charging them $5 or $10, government-imposed security fee. For more details, visit us 24 hours a day at voanews.com. I'm Vincent Bruce, VOA News, reporting from Washington.